All right, good morning. I'd like to call to order this Thursday, September 19th, 2024 meeting of the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments to order. Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair Lavanino. For the roll call, Director Williams, Hartman, Capps,
Here.
Nelson, Perotti, Clark,
Here.
Friedman,
Here.
Osborne,
Here.
Julian,
Here.
Aguilera Hernandez.
She just arrived, yes.
Thank you. Infante,
Here.
King, and Chair Lavanino.
I'm here. Okay, at this time, if you could all stand and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment today?
Chair Lavanino, we have no in-person public comment, and I have no request for public comment online.
Okay. Takes us to our consent calendar.
I just want to make sure there's no public comment in Santa Maria.
No public comment from Santa Maria.
Thank you.
Okay, do any members of the, what are we called here? Commissioners? Directors. Do any directors wish to pull any items off the consent calendar?
Can we put one on that trains you what to say?
Oh, man. Okay. All right. I'm taking it that had to be Director Infante. Okay, so is there any public comment on any of do they wish to pull any items off the consent?
Chair, we have no request for public comment.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
That takes us all the way to item 5. Madam
We
Clerk.
need to, sorry.
Oh, we probably should vote.
Yeah.
Director Infante is going to have a field day today.
Morning.
If anybody would like to take over as chair, that would be very helpful. Director Hernandez knows. I had a late night last night. All right, so
Yes.
we were supporting law enforcement in Santa Maria. So let's see. Can I get a motion to approve the consent?
Osborne moves.
Second, Infante.
Okay, let's do a roll call.
Director Osborne,
Yes.
Infante,
Yes.
Julian,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Aguilera Hernandez,
Aye.
Capps,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Friedman,
Aye.
and Chair Lavanino.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, that takes us to item number 5. Madam Clerk, can you please read item 5 into the record, please?
Thank you. Item 5A, Senate Bill 1, SB 1, Cycle 4 funding application for Santa Barbara US 101 multimodal corridor. 5A1, receive an update on Senate Bill 1, Cycle 4 funding application development. 5A2, authorize submittal of SB 1 Cycle 4 funding applications for Santa Barbara US 101 multimodal corridor to California Transportation Commission.
Good morning, Sarkis.
Thank you, Chair. Directors, can you hear me fine?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there's a button on. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
$1 million button.
So staff is here today to provide your board with an update on progress that we're making to fully fund the Santa Barbara US 101 multimodal corridor. Next slide, please. So for today, we're going to give you an update on where we are and then talk about the partnership with Caltrans and then how we're ready for Senate Bill 1. Thanks to all the progress and success that we've made from prior cycles, we are at a really good spot now to prepare and submit our final applications. Next slide, please. The Cycle 4 process has been in progress for a while. Staff has been working diligently with Caltrans and our local partners to make sure that we are meeting every requirement involved with the application, so there's a lot of attention to detail. We've been also doing a lot of advocacy with the California Transportation Commission, or the agency that allocates state funding to projects like our corridor. And then we've also been working with Caltrans closely, especially District 5 and headquarters, on our final suite of projects and developing the applications. Next slide, please. This chart here provides the overview of what we've been doing with the Cycle 4 process. This actually began almost a year ago in October, where Caltrans headquarters invites regions and districts throughout the state to nominate their corridors for co-partnership for applications. So that's been happening. We've been working with Caltrans since then, developing nomination forms for submittal to headquarters. Also, staff has been attending California Transportation Commission meetings, as well as participating in workshops that have been for development of the guidelines. We also had office hours with CTC staff and Caltrans headquarters to talk about the final suite of projects. So what happened was in July, we submitted our final nomination to headquarters, and then a month later, CTC adopted the final guidelines and announced the call for projects. And then we received good news last week, or a couple weeks ago, which I'll go over in a second, on our co-partnership. And then now we will be in the process of developing the final applications for submittal to the California Transportation Commission in November. Next slide, please. So this is an overview of the suite of projects that we have in the final application package. This is the US 101 High Occupancy Vehicle Project, or HOV project, segment 4E North. This is the last segment that is not fully funded. And so it's partially funded right now, and we're going to seek funding for completion. We also have the Cabrillo Boulevard Rail Bicycle Pedestrian Improvement Project in the state of Santa Barbara. We also have the Santa Barbara East Side Active Transportation Improvements, which will provide improved sidewalks and connections for pedestrians as well as bicyclists. We have zero-emission vehicle charging in the city of Santa Barbara, which will also be included, and so that'll help us with the sustainability component of the applications. And then finally, we are partnering with Ventura County Transportation Commission and including 3 zero-emission buses or 3 hydrogen buses, and those buses will benefit from completion of the corridor and provide improved transit throughput from Ventura County. In total, the final request for Senate Bill 1, Cycle 4, will be about $136 million. In terms of what's available in Cycle 4, that's about $1.5 billion statewide. So this request is actually similar to our Cycle 3 nomination, where we were requesting $9 million, 9% per package. And so this is nothing new to the process. And the one thing that we've been striving for is making sure that we're eligible for every funding program that the CTC has to offer. And so we're proud to say that we achieved that as well with this final package. And then the really critical piece is that thanks to the voters of Santa Barbara County and thanks to the support of the board, we have a really impressive non-SB1 match or a local regional match. And so that's about $65 million. So we're achieving a 32% match with the final application. Next slide, please. So one of the critical pieces with submitting an SB1 application to the state is co-partnership with Caltrans. So Caltrans gets to co-partner with regions throughout the state on different corridors. This is probably the most important slide of the whole presentation. I mentioned that we've been working with Caltrans since October to submit those nominations, and then they went to headquarters, and they actually were reviewed by California State Transportation Agency, or CalSTA. We have achieved co-nomination with Caltrans for not just one program, but for 2 programs. The first program is Solutions for Congested Corridors. So being a co-applicant with Caltrans makes this a higher priority. So that's a really important factor. And then the second program is the Trade Corridor Enhancement Program, or what we call the FREIGHT program. By being a co-partner on the FREIGHT program, not only are we eligible for regional pots of funding, but we are now also eligible for the state pot. So we are going to be eligible for a lot of funding pots in Senate Bill 1 Cycle 4. So this is even more impressive considering that we're only one of 2 corridors in the entire state to have both the freight and the congested corridors co-nomination. So this is going to make us really competitive for the next cycle. So next slide, please. What's going to make us competitive? It's a co-partnership with Caltrans, leveraging of funding, being ready to go in the first year of the 2-year program, and completion of the corridor. By showing that we are fully funding the final piece of the highway corridor, the state and the region and our local partners are going to realize the full benefits of having the HOV lane, as well as transit, rail, and active transportation improvements. Next slide, please. So in terms of next steps, we are feverishly working with Caltrans and our local partner, City of Santa Barbara, to develop those final funding applications. We're working also with headquarters, who's going to help us submit the applications for the programs. I also wanted to mention, and I forgot to mention, the other program that we're applying for is the local partnership program, and SBCAG, as the regional entity, will submit that application. And the reason why we can apply for that program is because we are a self-help county with Measure A, so that's going to make us eligible for that. So we submit the applications in November, and then from November to June of next year, the California Transportation Commission will evaluate the applications, and then in June of 2025, we will know the staff recommendations and then the final decision by the CTC. Next slide, please. So we say this a lot, but teamwork makes the dream work. So we wanted to thank the board for your support. We wanted to thank our executive director, Margie Curran, for her support as well. There are a lot of different pieces to the puzzle, and she gives us the tools in the toolbox to succeed. We also wanted to thank the SBCAG team who's been helping on every component of this. Thanks to Caltrans, specifically Director Scott Eads, and there's a lot that goes into this, and there's a lot of communication with headquarters, and they were a big advocate for our corridor with headquarters, so we wanted to thank them. And then local partners, TTAC, and then we have our consultant team listed up there. So we wanted to thank everyone involved to get this to this critical stage. Next slide, please. So with that, that concludes staff's presentation, and we'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Questions from Santa Maria?
No questions from Santa Maria.
Questions up here? Director Clark?
Thank you, Chair. As a victim of arriving here from the south, I'm wondering if we have enough money to finish what's going on in Montecito right now,
Yes,
or whether we're going to run out of money and just stop until we get the new money.
Well, so through the chair, Director Clark, the package or the segments that are under construction are fully funded, and so if we see any need for cost increases, we'll let the board know. At this point, they're fully funded, and they're allocated to those segments. So we already have the funding. We're proceeding, and so those are planned for delivery.
Thank you.
I have a few questions, Sarkis. So is this package all an all or nothing, or could we? I mean, are they? Is like the 82 million for Section 4E, could that be approved and the rest not, or is it all going to either thumbs up or thumbs down altogether?
So, Chair, it's all the entire package would be fully funded. They wouldn't be able to. They would not segment the project or the full funding.
And then, so if it gets approved in June, what would be the timeline on Section 4E? How many years is that?
So through the Chair Levinino, assuming full funding in June, then the project would start construction about 6 to 9 months later, and then the duration would be 2 or 2.5 years. So the goal right now is to complete the entire HOV corridor by 2028.
Okay. And then if we got this 136, what would that total investment from the state be at this point?
The total investment from the state, and I remember you asking me this question.
So, yeah. Like how much have we put in and how much have they put in?
Yes, so we've put in about $250 million, and then with this full funding, it would be about $800 million.
Okay. That's a message I think that we really got to get out to our constituents, that because of Measure A and their investment, that this has made us competitive.
Yes.
I mean, bringing in almost $1 billion, it's a huge return. I don't know of any other project that we've done locally that's ever had that kind of investment. So that's pretty amazing. Last question for me at this point. Are you worried about anything? No. Nothing? Okay. You feel good?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, if you feel good, we feel good. So, all right. So let's all feel good in June. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment on item 5? Or Director
I
Margie?
would just make a joke. We got to get that theme song going.
I feel good. Yeah. Okay. Madam Clerk, any public comment on this item?
Chair Lavanino, we have no request for public comment.
Okay. So I've got recommended actions 1 and 2. Can I get a motion?
So move. Staff recommendation.
And second.
Moved and seconded. Let's do a roll call, please.
Great. Director Osborne,
Yes.
Infante,
Aye.
Julian,
Aye.
King,
Aye.
Aguilera Hernandez,
Aye.
Caps,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Friedman,
Aye.
and Chair Lavanino.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0.
Awesome. Okay, that takes us to item 6, Executive Director's Report. Margie?
Great. Thank you so much, Chairperson, members of the board. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Lauren Bianchi-Clemen. We had a great event last week with the Goleta train station groundbreaking. We had a great attendance, and I think we had almost a quorum of our board attending in that event. So thank you all for supporting the work that's being done in the city of Goleta. I think it went really well. We have another party coming up, ribbon cutting for the 166 Black Road project on September 27th at 10 a.m. You are all invited to that as well. So we'll see how that goes. And the Santa Maria Open Streets, I set a wrong date at the sub-regional meeting, and I want to correct that. It's actually October 6th. So in Santa Maria, so feel free to attend that event as well. The city of Santa Maria is sponsoring that. We are recruiting for a transportation planner. We are asking for applications. Actually, they already closed. So we are recruiting for, we're doing interviews for a transportation planner, and hopefully we'll be successful in that recruitment process. I am attending the Santa Maria Microtransit Project this afternoon at 3 p.m. They're the first to do microtransit in our county, so we want to celebrate that event as well. And last but not least, our October board meeting will be, through the adopted schedule that you adopted last year, is October 24th, which is a week later than normal, our normal third Thursday thing. So I want to point that out. And our South Coast location will be at the SBCAG conference room, not here because this room was taken up. So Terry will send out reminders to make sure everybody gets to the right location, but we'll still have the Santa Maria location as well as the Santa Barbara. The main location will be in Santa Maria, so but the remote location will be at the SBCAG conference room. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the chair unless there's any questions for me. Thank you.
Any questions for our director? Seeing none? Okay. Thank you very much. That takes us to item number 7, Caltrans District Director Report. Scott?
All right. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. Again, Scott Eads here with you to give a report today for Caltrans. So first, just wanted to say that Caltrans District 5 is really pleased with the SB1 nomination, our ability to jointly nominate on the Santa Barbara 101 corridor project. So we appreciate our partnership with SBCAG on this project, and we're looking forward to refining and putting that application package together as a team. One quick federal announcement. We had 56 airports that were recently received a funding contribution with Federal Aviation Administration funds. One of those was the Santa Barbara Municipal Airport, which received $1.99 million. And the funding will support the reconstruction of the apron, developing new pavement plan, and conducting a pavement study. So congrats to Santa Barbara Airport for that. And then also just upcoming is the California Coastal Cleanup event for this month. and Caltrans is participating in that. And just kind of as a side note, somewhat related to the coastal cleanup, is our ongoing Clean California program. And since launching that program in July 2021, Caltrans and local partners have picked up more than 2.6 million cubic yards of litter. That's just a massive amount of litter. It's enough to cover 9 lanes of Interstate 5 from San Diego to the Canadian border.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Crazy, right? So Caltrans has hosted more than 500 dump days in communities throughout the state, resulting in the collection of more than 12,000 plus mattresses and 50,000 tires. So pretty impressive, the scale of stuff that ends up on our highway that needs to be addressed. And of course, a lot of this stuff, the dump days especially, are people that can skip dumping mattresses and tires on the highway and just put them directly in the dump where they belong. So anyhow, a really great program, and we've appreciated being a part of that. And then upcoming, we have our Caltrans Sustainable Planning Grant Program. It's a popular program. There's a lot of dollars available every year for planning-related work. And we just released the Sustainable Transportation Planning Grant Application Guide. There's some changes this year, so we're seeking comments and input that anyone has. The comments are due on October 10th, and information can be found on the Caltrans website, or if anybody's interested, I could direct them there. And then there's a whole lot, for those of you that have been driving around recently, there's a lot of construction going on, trying to complete what we can before winter comes. And so there's, as you all have experienced, many things going on. So just a few highlights. One is that the San Jose Creek Bridge on State Route 217, we have some upcoming closures in both directions between Hollister Avenue and the Sandspit Road. And they're going to be in the overnight hours from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So there are detours available, just FYI, and that will allow us to install some girders for the new bridge. And then on 246, there are some closures happening now as well. A quarter-mile section of 246 near Entrance Road will take place from Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we expect to complete the work on Friday, September 27th. And then there's also reversing one-way controls with some overnight closures on 192. And then we have Baseline Edison work that's continuing on 154. So I won't get into all the details, but we have detours set up for any overnight closures. And on 154, it's just a constrained work site. So we're trying to continue to move folks through there. There are detours available, and we're doing everything we can to try to protect and provide access through that area. So appreciate everybody's patience. And then finally, wanted to update an upcoming meeting, provide an update on an upcoming meeting on October 3rd at the St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Los Olivos. We're hosting a meeting to talk about the 154 and Fox and Canyon Road intersection. And as has been mentioned here before, we have an intermediate solution where we're putting in intersection warning signs with flashing beacons on 154 on either side of that intersection. That'll be coming early next year, and then we're still working towards intersection improvements, and that'll be the subject of the meeting when we meet on October 3rd. That concludes my report. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Director Eads. It is kind of funny, the two phone calls I get in my office is you guys don't work enough on the roads, and number two is there's too much construction going on, so. All right, questions for Director Eads? Anybody? Director Clark? No? Okay, Santa Maria, by any chance? Sir? All good? Okay, I think that might be a first, good job. All right, thank you very much. That takes us to our committee meeting. CRCC. Director King, do you have anything to report?
No, sir. I was unable to attend that.
Okay.
Randy Rouse went in my stead.
Okay. Randy's not here, and I don't see Director Nelson or Director Williams for Calvans or Losan. Okay. We'll just roll through those. It takes us to our 1-minute reports. We'll go to Santa Maria. Anybody with a 1 minute?
Nothing to report.
Director Julian?
Yes, just a couple items. One is that this coming Saturday, Vietnam Veterans of America Post 982 is rededicating a monument for the 3 individuals who were killed 54 years ago in Vietnam. And that's at 10 o'clock Saturday morning there at the 800 block of Guadalupe Street. That's the actual parking lot. And also, I want to appreciate SBCAG staff for being at the Mexican Independence Day Parade this past Sunday, taking surveys of what residents believe is needed along Highway 166 between Guadalupe and Santa Maria. So thanks, staff, for being there. Good.
Excellent. Anybody else in Santa Maria? I'm not recognizing
yes,
anybody there. I don't see anybody with their hand up. Don't see it. Still can't see it now. Go ahead.
He's messing with you.
You know, I'm going to, okay. A couple of quick items. This weekend, we're having our Danish Days event, which starts with a parade on Saturday and the opening on Friday night and those types of things. It's our annual situation that we're going to do. We are also going to have the State of the City Friday the 27th. Here in town, in Solvang, and we will have the Danish commissioner from the Danish commissioner come down and speaking to us at that event as well. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody here in Santa Barbara? No? All good? All right, that takes us to adjournment. Our next meeting, as Margie.
Sorry, Chair.
That's okay.
Before we adjourn, I just want to let everyone know the agenda currently on the website still reflects the October 17th meeting date, and I will get on there and correct that when I get home.
Give me the correct date again.
When I get back to work, I mean.
We're going to be on the 24th.
24th.
Okay.
In Santa Maria, remote location, SBCAG.
And SBCAG, which, by the way, is beautiful. So it's a nice meeting room. So we're going to adjourn this meeting. We'll meet again October 24th.